What's good, leaders? Welcome back to another episode of Neuro Leaders Podcast. I'm your host, Kyrie Green. Today we got a very special guest with us. It's crazy. Before we get into the episode, it's crazy. We we ran into a little hiccup, y'all. We ran into a little hiccup. So
Had to
I'm
run
I'm
him
gonna be
back.
I'm gonna yeah, like, I'm gonna keep it real brief. Just like to sum it all up. I thought I lost all the files to everything. I thought I lost everything, but we was able to get everything back. But we gonna run this back. I know it's a different setting. You ain't get to see that one yet, but a different set.
Yeah,
A
yeah, for
different
sure.
setting. We not in the studio. We shooting this in two. We in two different states right now. We in two different states right
For
now.
sure.
But we still going to complete the mission, man. But go ahead, let them know who you are and what you do.
What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling? My name Big Boy. I'm from Danville, Illinois, and I run a clothing brand called Dream Big Clothing. As y'all can see, this one of our pieces right here. Our sets, the a collection, Dream World collection, and I run that with a partner. Shout out to my partner Jalen. So I got a partner on the clothing brand side, and I also do property wholesaling properties, and that's called Dream Big Properties. And I got
Mhm.
another partner on that side. His name Donovan. So shout out to them. That's what I do. Uh, Brand owner.
Got a few things
Yeah.
going on. Just indulged in business and entrepreneurship. It's a two great field to be in. So how you been holding
Hmm.
up, man? When did we shoot that episode? What was that? That
That
was
was in
like what?
February, bro.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, February. I remember.
earlier this year.
Yeah.
Earlier this year.
Uh
So how
huh.
you been, man?
Ever since then, man, like we were just talking before we start recording. I had my daughter. April 2nd.
Congratulations, man.
Appreciate that. April 2nd, and man, it's just been getting used to it. Like I said, bro, getting used to changing these diapers and shit. Being up all night. You feel me?
Yeah.
This the regular things you gotta go through with a newborn. Just getting
hmm
used to all that. But
Yeah.
besides that though, it's been a blessing though. I can't complain.
So I want to ask, like, even thinking back to, when we first recorded that episode, I can already tell like your mindset and how you looked at life, like where it was. You kind of already already had an understanding which direction that you wanted to be headed in, like what you wanted in life. Has that like
Hmm.
changed, maybe some of the how you looked at some things, or everything is still the same?
You talk about as far as me having my kid.
Yeah, like has that changed like,
It
how you see life or
it really
anything?
just brought things to the forefront. Because
hmm
it's like for 9 months, you finna have a kid, but once it's actually there, it makes things that much more realer, and it just
hmm
make my purpose uh like 10 to 100 times more stronger, because I got somebody else that I'm accountable for outside of me, so yeah, I don't take that lightly, bro. So it's definitely changed. It's definitely continue to change too, like I
hmm
said, this she 3 weeks, so it's still new.
Yeah, still fresh, everything's still changing. Still, it's a from what I've always been told when it comes down to, just bringing a human into the world. Every day is a learning process. Like,
Most
you learning
definitely.
a lot about, the child that you're now, raising, and yourself as well. Like, you start to learn a lot new about yourself. Maybe,
Hmm.
you learn that you like something that you've never tried, because everybody I know has always said like their kids has always made them try new things, like something that they've never done before, and they may, turn out to just be like, oh, I like to do this thing, I've never known that.
All
um
right.
but overall, from, just every parent that I've ever spoken with, they've always said that it's a great experience, and it's something that they
No,
would
so it's a
like.
blessing.
It's a blessing, and it's a great experience, to especially to be able to see like what comes out of it, like, to see like, your kid and what they do with all of the things that you taught them all throughout their life, to see
Yeah.
them, use all of those lessons, all of those lectures that they may not want to hear at times, and, see them use that to go be successful and
Facts.
achieve the things that they want in life. Now I know we all done had moments where, Our parents may have been trying to say something to us, and we like,
We ain't trying to hear. I'm
yeah,
already
not
knowing.
right, not right now.
Yeah,
I don't
like
want to hear it.
that's
But
it
in
in the
those
back of your
moments,
head though.
yeah, like it be in the back of your head, but in those moments, is like those are the most important where I feel like you should really sit and listen. Cause
Mm-hmm.
from just my personal experience, every last time that I've had that thought, one of my parents was saying something that was super important and something that I still remember to this day. Like it's something
Mm-hmm.
that sticks with you. So like you don't want to tune
Most
it out.
definitely.
In the moment you like, oh, I ain't trying to hear it. But then when you really calm down, you sit down, you like, oh wait, no, they really said something that I needed to hear. Like I
Or
needed to hear something.
sometimes it might take years for you to get certain things
Yeah.
they say. Like you have to just go through it. Because I feel like a
Hmm.
lot of time as parents, especially with my parents, they try to do is not allow me to go through the same things that they did. And for a lot of things they did, but some things I had to learn on my own, and go
Hmm.
down that path myself, being hard
Yeah.
headed and stuff like that. So but you find out they ain't never too much wrong though.
Yeah.
You know what they talk about.
I recently had a conversation with my mother, and I was telling her, just like now that I'm older, a lot of the stuff when I was younger, when she was saying to me, it didn't make any sense. But now I'm starting to really understand where she was coming from a lot of the times with the stuff that she was saying.
Hmm.
And now it's like now that I'm, a little bit older and I can really reflect on those things. It's like, wait, no, she was right. She's right about
Right.
this. Like at the time, I was like, I don't know. Like you kind of challenge it. Then you get older and you reflect on it. You're like, no, she was right about this.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that is how I go though.
it get
Oh,
like that. Sometimes it do take years. It may not, be something that it gets to you in that moment. You may need, you may be faced with a challenge, and then it's like you think about it. Oh, they said this, and it's like, wait, no, they was right. Maybe I should have did this. Maybe I should have did that.
mhm.
But you said something, about just sometimes you have to go down a path on your own. Um, when we were speaking about, just the things that a parent or guardian might say to you. Or they're saying stuff to you for you to not have to go through the same things that they went through,
Right.
right? I want
Mhm.
to touch on that a bit. Just talking about the importance of like, because the foundation of New World Leaders is really just understanding to have individuals come on here so that the next generation doesn't have to go through these same things. I want you to speak on like the importance of, being somebody to speak up to maybe like a young individual, somebody who's maybe coming into a space that you were once in, and giving them some games so that they don't have to go through the same things, or not understand how to move in certain situations rather than just leaving them out there to kind of figure it out on their own.
Right. I think that's real important, just and not in a way to like shame them though, because
Mhm.
they might be getting pressured by things that I never had to experience that made them, make the decision they made, or uh, you know, social media, something. It can be something extra that's adding to why they doing the things they doing. But I definitely would just always just, you know, chop it up with them, encourage them, not make them feel like they wrong, or they a failure for making a bad decision or a couple bad decisions, because that's how you gotta learn sometimes. Like, everybody just don't learn just by watching other people doing, you
Mhm.
know. So really just letting them know that, you know, it's important to take heed when the warnings are presented to you,
Mhm.
because there's always warning before destruction. And if you don't take heed to the warnings, it'll only get worse. So I think that's important, because everybody going not everybody, but a lot of people gonna venture off or
Mhm.
uh, you know, go off a little bit, but there's always gonna be them warnings before
Mhm.
they all come crashing down. So you just gotta be smart and take heed to the warnings.
Now, that's something that I feel like is like real important. And I'm glad that you said that. Just understanding that there's always warnings to something before, it actually happens.
Yeah,
I was speaking to somebody, and we was having a conversation about like redirection. Um, and I was like, a lot of the times where we're put in, we want to do something and maybe it isn't going the way that we want it to. We kind of we don't look at it from a space where it's like dissecting it and actually like trying to understand, is this for us? Is this something that we should be doing? Or is it something where it's like we need to step away from? Like I had an
right.
individual talking about he had it not even talking about, I saw something, and this individual was speaking about an experience that he had. He said it was one night, he was about to go out somewhere, and he went to go get in his car, and he's never had a problem with his car, so, like never. Said his car just it wasn't starting. Like it just wasn't starting. He's like, oh, that's weird. So he's like, I'm just not gonna go out. And he was saying like the same exact place that he was, going to, this tragic incident ended up happening. I forget exactly what it was, but he's like something very tragic happened at the same exact place. And he
Yeah.
was like that, like that was like a moment for him where he was like, wait, something happened, as a way to redirect me or give me a warning to not go be in that environment. And a lot of the
Uh,
times in life, we receive warnings with many different things that we sometimes ignore. A lot of the times we ignore it. It's probably nothing. And then we get put in these, we get put in these places and these predicaments. And then it's like, damn, like how I get here, but we don't realize that we had opportunities to not be in that space.
yeah,
We
most
just
definitely.
didn't we just didn't pay attention to the warnings that was given. Because a lot of the times a warning could be something like, maybe you gotta maybe you in a house and you can't find something, or you gotta keep, oh damn, I forgot this, like it's something that's keeping you from going to do this thing or going to be in this space. Even
All right.
something that's looked at as like small as that could be a warning to not go be in that space. Like
Yeah,
it's
and it
something
ain't
that's
always
keeping you
gotta
away
be
from
like it ain't always gotta be you going to the wrong environment too. Like it could
it.
be like everyday life thing. Like, you can like you said, you can be trying to find your keys
Hmm.
and that set you back 10, 15 minutes, but the road you was gonna go down, somebody just had a crash down there. So it's like
Yeah, it's
it's
crazy.
always way back.
I got I had an experience myself. Me and my mom, we was in a car. We was driving. I forget exactly where we were going. We were going somewhere, but I never forget it. This was in the house. We was trying to find the keys to go. We couldn't find the car keys. The exact thing. We couldn't find the car keys. I'm like, damn, where I put the keys? Like, I don't know where they are. So that set us back about 10 minutes, right? We get to this intersection. There's a stop sign. I stop. This car comes flying through the intersection, like flying, doing about 50 miles an hour. Not didn't stop at the stop sign or nothing. Just ignored it.
Kept going, huh?
It kept going. And the only thing in my mind that I could think about was, what if we left the house just a few minutes earlier? Like, what
Bro.
if? That right there is like, you know, that could have been a warning to not leave the house as early
Yeah.
as we
I
may
mean,
have wanted to.
everything happened for a reason, man.
Like
You just gotta
seriously, everything happens for a reason, and something that I've actually learned and been learning over these past few months is like everything happens for a reason, and with that, things are happening for you and not to you.
mhm.
Like whatever it is that you're working towards, things are happening in your life for the benefit of you and what you're working towards, not to you. Like it's not just, oh, this is happening to you, why this happened. No, it's happening for you. I had a conversation with someone who works at a nonprofit that I was like, partnering with for a little. And she had me look at uh the death of my brother in a whole different way. And she said me now, she's like, have you ever looked at this as like, in a way where this could have been a way for you to, continue his legacy? I was like, no, I've never ever looked at it like that. Like, I've never ever looked at it through that lens. It's always been something completely different. It's just like, damn, I still can't
Hmm.
believe it. But I've never looked at it through that lens. And then after that day, I really sat down and thought about it. Like that, like maybe I should look at it through that lens, especially to see it now, like all of the things that have been birthed because of that thing, because of
Yeah,
like
I
all
can
of the
definitely
great
relate to that.
things, like all of the great things that have came out of that. There's so much stuff that I've done, to continue on the things that he was not able to. But if it weren't for that happening, none of this would be here today.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
none of this would be here today. We probably wouldn't be
That's
sitting
fact.
here having a
So,
conversation. I would have never started this platform. I would have never, started to do a lot of the things that I was probably would never have, do a lot of the things that I was doing. But because of that, now we're here. Like,
hmm,
and now, like, I wake up and I think about it, like, even with the good things and the bad things that have happened in life, if it weren't for all of those experiences, I would not be the person that, I am today. And I challenge everybody to look at it that same way. If it weren't for all of the things, all of the experiences that we have went through, we would not be who we are today. We wouldn't see things how we see them today. We wouldn't be able to have the work ethic that we have. There's a lot of factors, that in our lives now that we probably wouldn't have if we didn't go through all of those experiences that we went through. Um, so like all of that stuff is super important because it molds you into who you need to be. And
most
who you
definitely.
are today. Uh, so I wanna get into this, both of your brands. Dream Big Clothing and Dream Big Properties. This
Yeah.
Dream Big, right? What
Hmm.
when you were naming, both of these brands, what made you go with, Dream Big? Why is that
Yeah.
important?
Well, it's technically just really like one brand, but they on like a branch, So it's
Hmm.
like it's Dream Big and one branch of property to clothing. But
Okay.
what as far as what made me name it that, well, at first it stands for it's like an acronym. It stands for Dream, Beef,
Hmm.
Intellect, Greatness. And
Mm,
the slogan is it's not just a brand, it's a lifestyle. But I mean, I just made a brand that and something I believe in, and I believe in dreams. Cause like
mm,
just being real though, everything in life is a dream. Like everything in life that we use, from the shoes we wear to the socks we wear to the hat to the place we work at to the cars we drive to shit, the food we eat, our favorite restaurant, that was all somebody's
yeah.
dream. You feel me?
Hmm.
Somebody came up with, and we go to McDonald's, we living out somebody's dream. We
Hmm.
invested to somebody's dream. When we
Hmm.
go to buy some Jordans, we invested to Michael Jordan's dream. When
Hmm.
we go do this, so why not implement your own dream into the world? So that's what I look at dream big for real is. And as far as the acronym, it's like first you gotta know how to dream, which is not hard to do, but um it's crazy because people don't even want to let alone actually try to chase their dreams. People limit how they think, and that's important.
Mm.
Like if you gonna say, if you want to do something, see yourself doing it at the highest level in your head. Don't limit it. Don't be like, I want to be a track star or something like that, but I
Mm-hmm.
ain't gonna see myself in high school doing it. No, no, see yourself in Olympics, you know. So first off, I think people it's important for us to learn how to dream. And then belief is really just believe the dream, like having emotion behind the dream. Intellect is informing yourself and teaching yourself about what it is you want to do, and yeah, just being wise. And then greatness is obviously to be great, and the only way to be
Mm-hmm.
great is to do it every day, consistently. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
our slogan is it's a lifestyle. Because I mean, in order if you want to be a basketball player, you got to do it. You got to make it a lifestyle. You can't just do it a couple of days and fall off. Like, no, you got to keep at it. So that's really like the whole meaning behind what the brand means for real. It's just what our dreams is, we gonna incorporate into the world because we already living in everybody else's dreams. Like, I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
die not implementing my dreams into the world or
Mm-hmm.
inspiring people to do that, to implement their dreams into the world. Because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, we all here for a reason, and
Exactly.
it ain't gotta be like the biggest, like you ain't gotta make the biggest invention. Like, man, if you wanna, and I'm not trying to be funny when I say this, if you wanna be the best janitor in your town, that's still
Mm-hmm.
a dream. That's still a vision that you see inside your head.
Mm-hmm.
And just go do that. If that's what you want to do, go do that, and it's not about how big the dream is to the world, it's about how big it is to you. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Exactly. That's super important. It's like something the world doesn't I'm not even gonna say the world will never see things how you see things. People will never see your dreams how you see them because they're not you. The dreams that
right,
we have are for us. We see them as like the most craziest thing possible. And you may tell you like, this dream to somebody and they may be like, oh, okay. Like they can't understand it. They can't wrap their heads around it. That's because that's not for them. They don't have that same
right,
dream.
yeah.
But you
It's for
said
them to
something
experience.
exactly. You said something super, super duper important. You talked about limiting yourself, right? You know, we as people, we sometimes allow our mental to get in our way and we limit ourselves. You said to see yourself doing things at, the highest level possible. Some people may have a dream and they could like, belittle their dream. They say, all right, well, I want to start a business,
Right,
but I want to just, make, probably just have it known that my friends, my family, stuff like that, maybe my city. No, why not see yourself having the biggest brand in the world? Why not see
right,
yourself having, the top, food place in the nation, something like that? Why not see
bro.
yourself
I mean,
doing
why
something
not?
like that? Like
The
these
thing
things
about it
are
is like,
possible. They're more than possible. You just cannot limit yourself. Our mind, like our mental can be it could be our worst enemy or our greatest weapon. It can work as both. It can help you or it can hurt you. You
bro,
can't allow it to be the thing that hurts you. Because if you understand it enough, it can help you, get to
all right.
achieve the things that you want out of life. It can
The
get you to
thing is,
these places.
I wanna say though, it's not easy though. I
Yeah.
ain't getting on here just saying like, because a lot of I wanna say this too, like a lot of things I be saying like on my reels and shit, like I'm talking to myself with it too, so I'm not just on a pedestal talking down to everybody. Like, no, I'm
Hmm.
talking even level.
Hmm.
So it's like when it comes to the thinking, it's not easy, but you have to be consistent. One, be consistent. Be disciplined with it, and actually be disciplined with your thinking. Like
Hmm.
I read something that said, humans we rethink like 95% of the same thoughts every day.
Hmm.
So it's like, damn, you wonder why you making the same choices. Motherfuckers say, all right, I ain't finna do this tonight, and then the night come, you end up doing it because you just went through the same thoughts every day. So how you beat that?
Hmm.
You gotta put new thoughts in your head. You gotta write your thoughts down. You gotta get it out. You gotta put new things in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you gotta really put in the work, and a lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people want to do it, but don't know how to do it. Don't know where to start, or just it's too like uncommon for them
Mm-hmm.
to do things like that. But yeah, it ain't easy though, but it's possible though. Like that's as long as it's possible, so I'm going for it.
Mm-hmm. Nothing is possible, especially anything that you put your mind to, you can do it. And I strongly believe that because I've seen a lot of people accomplish things that the average individual may look at as impossible. But I want us to do something for that individual that's maybe stuck and don't, they don't know how to get the ball rolling, the ball moving. Maybe they stuck in that
Right.
constant loop of the same thoughts and just don't know what to do. Give some advice or something to help that individual. Maybe tell them a step to take. It could be a book to read, just something to help them get out of that feeling of feeling stuck so that they can continue to push forward.
All right, a couple things. My first thing that I did was I prayed. I got closer to God. I started talking to
Hmm.
God, and allow Him to guide. And another thing I read, I definitely start picking up books too. Like uh, my sister, she always was like a real avid reader growing up and stuff like that. Like I always would see her reading all the time and things like that. And my mom, she would make us read too. Like growing up, like shit, we before we was able to go to the Y after school or something, we got to come to the crib, do our homework, do our chores, and read at least 30 minutes. So it's like, but growing up, I wasn't really into it, like
Hmm.
not too much. But when I'm older and stuff, that's is one of my favorite things to do because it, like I said, it put new thoughts in your head, and it you feel better once you get done reading a little book or something. You feel better. You feel empowered. Um, So I would say that I would say journaling, or if it's not journaling, because I'm not too big of a journaler. I do it every once in a while, but just some way of getting it out, like some form of expressing it, whether it's talk to somebody, it can be music, it can be poetry, it can be journaling, it can be just any way that you can get it out. I would say start there with
Hmm.
God, uh inputting new thoughts into your brain and letting out the feelings and the things that you are feeling in the most positive way you can. And yeah, for real, that's really a good start. And another thing, just kind of like shit, a lot of times we be running from shit. So you got to stop running from a lot of things. And that's real uncomfortable to do. But
Yeah.
that's where you really, that's where you really find gold,
Hmm.
when you stay in it, you stay in that feeling. And you kind of just work through it. Like I said, in a healthy way. Don't like destroy yourself for it, but
Hmm.
you definitely can't just run from. You can't just hop there, go there, be this place, that place. If you ain't right within, it's only gonna get worse. So
Hmm.
you got to deal with it most definitely though.
I just spoke to my little brother about this, and I was telling him, like, for a lot of people in the world, they have to get right with themselves before that they can do anything else. You got to make sure your mental is in a space for you to be able to take, this journey to whatever it is that you want to achieve in life. Because if your mental is not where it needs to be, you're not going to get far. And in ways you can self-destruct in many different ways. You can close doors that could have took you very, very far because your mental isn't in the space where it needs to be. It may stop you from looking at things through a certain lens that it should be looked at. Maybe you start looking at things like, something is not, oh, this isn't for me, I shouldn't be doing this, I got told no, I got a door closed in my face, oh no, I'm gonna just give up. No, you should continue to
Right. Yeah.
push forward. That no, that oh, I'm okay, I'll pass. That's not, turning you away and saying go find something else. No, that should make you want to go do it even more and figure something out. Because just because you got told no doesn't mean that you're not going to get a yes. You got told one no
Bro.
don't mean that you gonna get told no for no. You'll get the yes that you're looking for. But if
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
see things the way that it should be seen, you'll never get to that yes. You'll never get to the thing, what it is that you were working towards because you just gave up when you got told no. That door got closed in your face and you like, damn it, all right, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to just go over here and go do something that I gotta settle for. It's not really
Yeah.
what I want, but I'm gonna just go do it anyway because I can't deal with being told no.
Yeah.
Your
For
mental,
sure.
like your like I'm gonna always stress your mental is really like it can be, it's like that. You ever saw a movie where it's like you got an angel and a devil on like on both shoulders? Your mental can work as
Yeah.
both. Your mental can talk and speak to you in a positive way to uplift you, or it can speak to you in a negative way to pull you down.
In the
Like and
same day
yeah,
though.
like in
Bro,
the
in the
same,
same day. Like
exactly. Like
it's an ongoing battle.
you ever
I'm
sit
telling you.
down and it's like it's a voice that's talking in your head, like it may be telling you something. That voice, like that inner voice, it can speak to you in a way that uplift you, or it could pull you down. Like
Bro.
it could tell you to chase after positive things, to uplift yourself, be a leader, be a role model for your community, your family, your community, all that type of things. Or it can tell you to, self-destruct, destroy yourself, destroy everything around you. It can do both. Like it can
Or
do
just
both
give in
things.
to the pressures outside of you. You know, it can tell you that too. Like, you
Exactly.
know what? You trying to be strong and this and that. Like, just say fuck it and just give
Mm-hmm.
in.
It could
It's
do all of
definitely
those
an ongoing
things.
fight.
It's
Most
a it's
definitely.
a it's a it's a battle. It's a battle every day. But one thing that I would say would get you through it. And actually, you said a lot of this. You said a few things that I would say will help get you through it. But the first thing I would say is you got to get closer to God. Whatever it is
Yep.
that you believe in, you have to get closer to,
Exactly.
your creator.
Hmm.
You have to keep that with you, your faith. That
Got
has
to.
to stay with you. Like that's the first thing. Because if everything else, just goes to shambles, that's the one thing that you'll have.
Always, no matter what.
One thing that you'll have is your
So you
faith.
got to.
That's the first thing that you gotta, fall back on is your faith. Everything else comes, last. But that's the first thing that you gotta fall back on is what it is that you believe in. Then after that, before we got cut, I was saying that's the one thing that you will always be able to fall back on is your faith. You talked about reading. I say that reading is like a very very powerful thing. It's something that I was always into, and I kind of like fell out of it. Stop reading as much as I was, but recently I started to do more of reading, and now that I'm older and being able to get into different genres of books. Books are an amazing thing. They can teach you so much. Like you'll
Definitely.
learn so much from a book. Like
Most definitely, bro.
I recently picked up a book. What were the Rockefellers doing? It's this other book. I just can't think of the name of it, and it's actually talking about dreaming. I think it's like the power of dreaming big or something like that. It actually talk about dreaming big.
Yeah,
And
I
from what
seen that book around though.
yeah,
I know what you talk about.
yeah, and just from what I've read of the book so far, is actually telling you to dream as big as like aim as big
That's
as
true, bro.
like
Like that's
aim for the
facts, bro.
biggest thing that you can.
The
Like
biggest thing.
shoot, shoot. Aim. What's the saying? Shoot for the star. Wait, what is it? Shoot for the stars, aim for the moon, something like that. I
Yeah,
think that's the saying, and it's telling you to
something
just
like that. This
go
the thing
after
though.
something that
My
you
bad, go
can't,
ahead.
you probably don't even think is possible.
This the thing though. Like you not gonna achieve every big goal you set,
Mm-hmm.
but it'll make you like produce more you would have did versus had you
Exactly.
had a little goal. So say
Mm-hmm.
if I be like, all right, let's be like, all right, fuck, I want to sell 500 t-shirts, right? The goal is to get there, but I might get 350. I might get
Mm-hmm.
400. But I probably wouldn't even never got that had I not set that goal. If I just said I was going to sell 20, 40, 30, 40, I would have got 20, 30, 40.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing that what I like done learned on doing this is like once you really set a goal high, that's why my motto is set the goal high, figure out how to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get so many ideas and you gotta allow yourself some time too. So that's I think preparation is important. So allow yourself time for the ideas to come with you and make up new ideas to actually
Mm-hmm.
get to the goal, the big goal you set. And then once you get a couple ideas, you're like, damn, this really possible. Like, okay, I
Mm-hmm.
can really do it. But if you don't set that goal that high, you're not even gonna think. The ideas not even gonna come to you. So it's
Exactly.
important. Dreaming big is important, bro.
That ties right back into what it is that you got going on with your brand, and everything. Just like it dreaming big is one thing, but there's it's a process to it. Like you said, you got to make it a lifestyle. It has to
Yeah.
be something that like, yeah, you set out this dream. Yeah, I'm like even like you said, to not even be funny, I'm gonna be the best janitor in my city.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the best trash man in my city. I'm gonna be the best waiter, waitress, however you want to look at it. I'm gonna be the best at whatever it is that I'm doing. It has to be something that you commit to every single day. You
Right.
have to wake up every day and commit to, putting your best foot forward. Even when you don't feel like it, you may be tired. You gotta wake up every day and put your best foot forward to get that. Cause it's not just going, you're not gonna wake up one day and it's just gonna fall in your lap. It's like, all right, yeah, I'm the
Nah, hell
best.
no.
Nah, that's not how it works.
Hell
It don't
nah.
work. It don't work
I ain't gonna
like
lie. If it was like that, my clothing
that.
brand wouldn't even be this.
Like if it was like that, people could just wake up and they could, the stuff would just fall in their lap. It would be too easy,
It wouldn't even
and
be
so
special because everybody
it
have
wouldn't
it.
be people wouldn't enjoy it. You would not,
Bro.
it would not mean much to you if you can get it as easy. If you didn't have to
Mm.
go through the trials and tribulations to achieve something, you would not care for whatever it is that you've obtained as much as you would if you had to go through something to get it. Like if you had to put up a fight, struggle, when you get that thing, it's gonna be like, yo, like I'm gonna take
Yeah, I
care of it.
deserve this.
Like
Bro.
you gonna enjoy it. You gonna sit in the moment. People think about, the time you done got, your first car or something like that. You done worked all crazy, saved up some money. You went out and got your first car. It's like, damn, I did it. You go sit in and you drive. It's like, this is my first car. I worked
Yeah,
hard to
yeah.
get this. Like, this is mine. This is me. Like that feeling.
Mm.
That's what you got, that feeling because you had to endure a lot in order to be able to sit in the driver's seat of that car. If you didn't have to go through nothing and you just walked out your front door, you had a car, you would not have that same feeling. But you got
Bro,
that
yeah.
feeling because you had to go through some stuff. And that's how it is with being on the road to achieve what it is, your version of success.
Hmm.
You'll like it'll be like your most prized possession once you get there because you had to, go through a lot of different things on your journey to get there. And that's okay.
Facts.
That's
Facts.
listen, that's how
It's
the
part of
game
it
goes.
though.
That's
It's
part
part
of
of
it.
it.
Everybody who we can look at and see that, they're in a position where, they may be on TV in the biggest movie, top string, whatever, the biggest company in the world. If it wasn't for them having to go through a lot of things, they would not, they wouldn't hold these things as close to them as they would, like as they do
Mm.
now.
Yeah. No, that and they wouldn't even been the person
Exactly.
to be able to handle that.
Like I look at a lot of different interviews of, artists, actor, all types of different like people in these spaces. And each of them talk about their journey. Like they talk about the journey that like everything they had to go through before they are who they are today. One of the people who I really, really, really can speak on is Kevin Hart. He talks openly about a lot of the stuff that, he had to go through before he got to where he is today. I saw
All right.
something of him talking about his ACT score or something like that. And he basically just said he went through and put like A, B, C, D, A, something like ABBA or something all the way through.
Yeah.
And he was like, once he got that score, and he got to see like all his friends, they got their scores back and they bragging about their scores. Like he made a promise to himself to like give everything 100% from here on out. I'm gonna give everything 100% because of the feeling that he got, the feeling that he had when he got that score back. You look around, you see all your homies,
Mhm.
they bragging about their scores, what they able to do with their scores. You get yours back, and it's like, oh, damn, I got this. Except from that point on, I'm gonna give 100%. Like everything
No.
that I do, I'm gonna put my best foot forward. So to everybody, whatever it is that you're working towards, make sure you wake up every day and put your best foot forward. You gotta give
Well,
it your
that's all you
all.
can do. That's all you can do.
Give it your
Well,
all. So I wanna do something different. I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Next, different question. You could
that
talk to your younger self, right? What's some advice that you would give to your younger self? Like if your younger self was standing in front of you right now, you was able to sit down and have a conversation with the little you. What's some advice you would give to that person?
man, I would say have more belief in yourself, really, and be more comfortable in your skin. Well, definitely. I would say that that would be things that I would definitely tell my younger self is to like, basically just be more comfortable in your skin, who you is. Um yeah, that'd be the biggest thing. Definitely.
Being comfortable in your skin is like something I feel is important because it'll allow you to block out, things like the opinions of others. You won't feel like you'll only need you to validate what it is that you're doing. You won't need somebody else to validate, maybe your parents, how you feel, things like that. You only need yourself. You're comfortable with who you are. You step into space, you're comfortable with yourself. You
Yeah.
you can freely be you. I talk about Wallow a lot. It's crazy. I just finished up his book. I actually haven't had a chance to talk about that. But his
Which
book
one?
was an amazing what
I
is
saw you
his
just
name?
dropped like two, three
No, he just
books or
dropped
something.
no the one the not the newest, not the newer ones, the other one. What's the name of
Oh,
this damn book?
armed with good intentions. That
Yeah,
one.
Armed with Good Intentions. That's the name. That's the name of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even before his book, like I it's something about Wallow. And the biggest thing is what we were just talking about, just him being able to be comfortable with who he is. Like that's something that like I admire him for is just being able to be himself. It's not many people out here that are able to be comfortable with themselves. Like him
Right.
going on social media, running in the ring, like talking, like, just motivating people. But people are
Yep.
looking at him like, bro, you are like, is it something wrong with you? No, that's him
He
being
don't care
him.
though.
He
He don't
don't
care.
care. Like he has no care in the world how you see him, what you think about him. This is not for this, like this is for me. I'm doing this for me. I'm going to be
Right.
who I want. In his book, he talked a lot about, him just being him. Him just doing things that he wanted to do. Maybe his homies might have looked at him sideways, like, what? We not doing that. All right, well, y'all don't got to. I'm still gonna do what I want to go do. Like he
Bro,
talked
that's how I
about
am though. Like,
he talked about him coming across an individual in his neighborhood who was, I forget the name of him, but he was big on like karate and a martial art or something like that. And he was talking about how he was telling his homies like, man, I'm gonna go chill with the old head who do like the martial art. And they looked at him crazy, like, what, you gonna be with this clown? He like, you not a clown, like he cool. And he
bro,
learned a lot. He talked about how he learned a lot from him just going to be with him.
and
Like
he'll
him
whoop
sitting
your ass.
around him. Yeah, no, no, seriously. Like he literally said he was one of them old heads that got like a lot of respect in the neighborhood. Like everybody knew, like, all right, yeah, he'd come out there, practice his martial art, but everybody leave him alone. Like
I know
let
some
him
people
be.
like that that just
Like let him
you
be.
you
But
just leave
he
them
got a
alone.
lot of even though people looked at him sideways, he got a lot of respect for it. But Wallow even said in the book, he said that one thing that really drew him into him was him being able to him like he just was he was himself.
Yeah,
And Wallow was looking to
for
be
sure.
able to do that same thing, be comfortable with being himself. So he went up to him and just asked him, like, can you teach me to like to do this, the martial art? And from there he was able to learn a lot from it. Um,
And it just froze.
but I think
Hello?
yeah, I think
I
that
just it just froze on my side. My bad.
yeah, no, you good. I think that I'm glad that you talked about, just being comfortable with being yourself, because that's also an important thing with anything that you do in life. You got to be able to be yourself.
Yeah, and
Um
it's like for me, I would say I would never like too much like a follower, or I was always like a leader.
mhm,
Of course we follow, everybody follows somebody,
yeah.
but when I say a follower, like just doing things for attention, that was never me. But
Mhm,
it was more so like me not being like more out there about who I am. I
mhm,
was more just, which I still am to myself, but now I'm doing shit like this and I'm doing what I'm doing in
mhm,
real life to what I wasn't doing back then. I was just only just seeing myself doing it, which is what led me to doing this though.
yeah.
But yeah, but it was, I'll also tell my younger self just trust the process too, because like I
Mhm,
just said, the younger me I was led me to being who I am now. So
mhm. Now I want to get into entrepreneurship and your journey with that. To
uh,
some a younger individual out there who's interested in entrepreneurship. Maybe they might have heard about it and they think about like trying to get into it. What's some advice that you would give to them? Like, talk about maybe a misconception about entrepreneurship. Maybe give them some tools or something that they'll need to get involved in it. Just give them some advice.
man, look, I ain't gonna lie. If you just started, Joe, and you got a job, do not leave that motherfucker till you finna get rich next week. Life. I'm telling you,
Don't.
I made a mistake. I lost jobs. I'm like, man, I ain't going back to no
Hmm.
job. Man, life hit. Reality
Hmm.
hit you. So you just gotta keep that job.
Hmm.
Uh, but really just on an entrepreneur business side, um, I was just talking to somebody about this. It's like, you know, it get lonely. It
Hmm.
definitely get lonely being entrepreneurship sometimes
Yeah.
because you gotta think. And some people do go to college doing entrepreneurship, but me,
Hmm.
I chose not to, right? So when you go to college, you the path already laid out for you. You know if you go this and you do this for 4 years, you know what the outcome gonna be.
Hmm.
And the culture already, shut that down us anyway. It's like
Hmm.
when you get older, go to college, go to college, go to college. So to choose the entrepreneurship path is more like unknown.
Hmm.
So my biggest advice would be to be uncomfortable in the unknown. Like get uncomfortable with not knowing the outcome, you know, and also learn and soak up the game as much as possible. And like I
Yeah.
said in our last interview, it's about both who you know and what you know, you know.
Hmm.
So learn your game, learn the game. Knowledge is power. Uh, relationships. That's what that's power too. That also give
Mhm.
you leverage. If you need somebody, if you got a good relationship with somebody and the next city to you, and it's something that you can't make it to, or an order that you can't drop off to, maybe you can get them to do this and that. That's
Mhm.
leverage.
Yeah.
That's leveraging your time and things like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, so be comfortable in the unknown. Uh, focus on learning the game. Focus on learning the skills that you need to learn.
Mhm.
And relationships. And one thing I've been really studying, bro, is learning sales.
Mhm.
Because you think about it, everything is sold to us. You feel
Mhm.
me? Everything ain't nothing that we watch or when you go to it's crazy because you will go to the store and you will see a for sale sign. Like the
Mhm.
shit ain't already for sale.
Yeah.
This shit already for sale. If it wasn't for sale, I'd be able to buy.
Mhm.
That's just another sale tactic that they use because they know if they put for sale on it and probably lower the price a little bit, that is gonna add up to more people buying it. But it's
Mhm.
already literally for sale because if it wasn't for sale, it wouldn't be on the counter. So
Mhm.
it's like learning sales is important though. So I'm definitely studying sales, branding. I've been studying branding. I've been studying marketing because all this stuff is what we gotta realize as entrepreneurs is like the game been played on us our whole life,
Mhm.
and it's all around us. You ain't gotta go too far to see that the game being played on. Like
Exactly.
it's a reason why all Walmarts are blue.
Mhm.
It's a reason why all Targets are red. You feel me? This is not no. They not doing this on accident. This all on
Mhm.
purpose. So it's
Mhm.
like you just it's every you can learn from everything everyday life. Like damn, okay, I see what they doing, and it's stuff that's
Mhm.
been here since before we was here. Walmart been here
Exactly.
before we was born,
Mhm.
and it's like damn, okay. So now I'm watching videos of Walmart and how they started, and or Walmart versus Target, or McDonald's and just all these big companies. I'm watching videos about Jordan because I never was a big Jordan head, not like a real big one, but I
Mhm.
always was like infatuated by like, damn, this nigga got these people acting crazy. Oh,
Yeah.
you feel me? So I'm like, all right, how can I get to a point? Which I know it's a lot of years of work, but how can I get to that point to where I got people acting like that with my brand?
Mhm.
So it's like I said, the game be played on us
Mhm.
all day, every day. You gotta be smart enough and in tune enough to recognize it.
Mhm.
So
So I want to go back on talking about if you have a job to not quit that job.
man,
As
don't do it.
as somebody who is an entrepreneur with a job that I clock into every day, 6 days a week, you have to use, like, literally, the saying is real. You have to use your 9 to 5 to fund your 5 to 9.
Right.
Before you are able to go out and do the things that you want to do, you got to do what you have to do. We all
You got to.
have some form of responsibility in our life, some type of responsibility. So as much as you want to work for yourself, run your own business, your own company, your own brand, before it gets to a point where it's able to fund all, take care of your responsibilities, you have to be the one that you got to go clock in and go take care of responsibilities, and there's nothing wrong with that. I
Yeah,
know a
yeah,
lot
ain't
of
nothing wrong.
I know some successful entrepreneurs to the like now that still have a job.
All
Like,
right. Yeah.
still have a job, still choose the clock in. Like, it's nothing wrong with using your day job to fund the things that you want to do.
Yeah. Or
That's your
however
start.
however you get money,
Like,
people
that's your
get different
start.
ways.
Like, that's your start. You have to your business ain't just gonna start jumping from day one. Like, you
No.
gotta build it up. it's like raising a kid. You gotta like, you gotta be there for it. You gotta make sure you feed it, you take care of it. You like this is just what you gotta do. But if you don't have the means to be able to take care of it, it's not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah. And
You
then
talked about marketing as well, marketing and sales. I say this all the time. Marketing is everything. Like you said, it's a reason, Target is red, Walmart is blue. It's a reason every market and every store is set up the way that it is. It's a reason that, commercials are played out the way that they are. It's a
right.
reason that, the store lighting is the way that it is. They got a certain type of music going. There is a
It's
reason
all
for
part of the
all of this stuff. It's all part, like you said, it's all part of the game. And
yeah,
you got to look at it being a consumer and an entrepreneur. You got to look at it from both sides of the field.
facts.
We're all consumers. So as a
Every day.
consumer, like when you see an ad, why did you stop to look at that ad? Take whatever element that made you stop out of that ad and try to implement it into, what it is that you have going on. Maybe the
Right.
sound, the color, the beat, the B roll in it, the A roll, whatever it is. Take that element and use it in your stuff. You have to like you said, there's a lot of stuff that has been here before us. You got to study that stuff. These successful businesses and brands that have been here before us and that have been going strong, study these things. How did they make it there? Target wasn't always one of the top stores. Walmart
Now
wasn't always one of the top stores. Apple didn't always
Amazon,
have like
they
all
all
of these
started
stores.
small.
They started somewhere. I watched the what's that documentary? I think it's a documentary of Facebook.
Mm.
With what's his name?
Mark,
Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg. I think it's a documentary. If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me. I watched something. And it was talking about just his start when he started off with Facebook. Facebook did not start off how it is now. It didn't start
right.
off like that. Like it started off very, very, very small, and then it just went crazy. Like it went crazy. Amazon, it started off very, very small, and now look, it has everything.
Everything.
Like
Straight
it
up.
got everything that you can name. Everything had a start. I saw a bunch of stuff of Gucci, Dolce and Gabbana, like their first storefronts, brick and mortar and things like that. They started off small, and now look, they got multiple locations all over the world, different states, different countries all over, but they had to start somewhere. So we all got to find, our start. Where do we start? And we build off of that.
Yeah,
We just go on from there.
most definitely.
Um, Now I want you to also actually before I do that, um, I think on the last episode we did when we shot, we talked about the real estate. And you talked about you were doing, what was it, wholesale real estate?
Wholesaling, yeah.
Yeah, wholesaling. That's a big thing that I hear a lot of people talk about. Could you talk a little bit about like that process? What is
All right.
wholesale?
Yeah. And you say you be hearing a lot of people talk about it?
I be hearing a lot of like I hear a lot of people talk about wholesaling, especially when it comes down to things like, how to start a business, or cre- how to get something without having
Into
to
real
put a lot
estate.
up front.
Yeah. So
Like that's one of the
basically,
major things.
that's good you said, because I ain't gonna lie. Where I live at in Danville, bro, I don't I never heard nobody doing wholesaling real
Man,
estate.
in Philly, that's
Never.
all I hear. Wholesale,
Bro, I never
wholesale,
heard of
wholesale.
nobody. So I think we the only people that do it in Danville. But now, like what you said, it's a way to get into real estate without really having no money
Mhm,
or yeah, really no money. So how the process work is, you know, you the middleman between the buyer and the seller. So
mhm,
what you do is you cold call, which is basically like just calling up a whole bunch of numbers. You can get it from different websites. and skip trace a lead, which is basically the skip trace. What it gives you is the contact, like they email, they phone number, they mailing address.
Mhm.
Sometimes a lot of times we send out mail too, because what we
Mhm.
realize is a lot of people, if you see a random number pop up on your phone, you might not answer, but you gonna
Mhm.
check all your mail. You're not just gonna
Mhm.
not open the mail. So, but yeah, you basically the middleman. So let's say we call up a number. After you call so many numbers, you finally get somebody on the phone, and you tell them you interested. Are they interested in selling their house? And they say, yeah. Me. A lot of people go about different ways. Some people want to come as if they are the buyer themselves. Me and my partner, we like to be straight up and say we wholesalers. So we just say we got investors and buyers that we connected with that are looking to buy in your area, things like that. And after you negotiate a price, so we get the let's say we get the house under, we agree to 40K. So
Mhm.
they want the house to be sold for 40K. So we send them a contract which basically agrees to that and give us basically uh like the ownership, not of the property, but not of the property itself, because they still
Mhm.
ownership, but to be able to sell it or bring it to a seller, I mean a buyer.
Okay.
But so we get them on a 40K, then we go to a buyer, we got a couple buyers, especially in Indy. So we
Mhm.
go to a buyer, let's say we wants to sell the buyer for 45K. So we agree on that. Then we get the buyer under a contract too. That's agreeing on a 45. So then we take that to the title company, which is basically just check, make sure all the back taxes and the liens and all that is clean.
Mhm.
You know, so once we go through that process take like 2 weeks. We get through that process and the seller gets the 40K, the buyer gets the ownership of the property, and we get that 5K. That was the spread.
Okay.
So that's how I go. It's not really the most money you're gonna spend is on getting a skip trace, you know, because that costs a little money, but it don't cost much. Like we use pop wire, it's 10 cents every contact you want, but that don't cost much. And sending mail out, that's probably the most money
Mhm.
you're gonna spend. But yeah, it's a way to get your foot into real estate without having no money.
Mhm.
So and building relationships.
I was about to say, I think that's a another thing that it could also do is just like that relationship building, and or network building, that could also be another that could be used as leverage,
Yeah.
like we said before, you may get told no, that one time, but you may be able to connect with that person and they may be able to lead you to another deal that you may be able
Yeah.
to close on. So that's also something that can come out of that rather than just, oh, I got told no, all right, well, it just ain't gonna happen. No, they may be able to lead you to something else that you could benefit from. Um, Now I want the individual to become, just a bit more familiar with everything that you do. You talked about the the wholesale and the properties. Can you speak more about the brand?
The clothing brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we started this in 23. We started both in 23, but I mean, right now we got these out. We
Hmm.
about sold these out though. We got a couple more of them. We
Hmm.
doing a sale. We actually doing a sale right now. And since
Okay.
it's dropping Wednesday, y'all might be able to catch it. You feel me? We
Okay.
doing a
Okay.
we doing a one of these for 100,
Hmm.
two for 150.
Okay.
So but as far as that game go, uh, it's you really gotta first make some clothes that you like and that you wear, because if
Hmm.
you like it, somebody else gonna like it.
Hmm.
Uh, that's what we kind of stick to. Of course, we might want to venture off, try new things, but these first 2 3 years, we make what we like and what we want to wear, because
Hmm.
somebody gonna like what you like. But I would say do a lot of as much pop-up shops as you can, because
Hmm.
that's where you really like feet on the ground, touching the
Yeah.
people and meeting the people,
Hmm.
and go to different spots, go to different places, different cities, um, and make a brand a color brand that you believe in. Don't try to
Yeah.
follow no trends. Trends come and go. Just stick to
Hmm.
what it is that you believe in. Because the thing about that is, it might take longer, but we not here to blow up fast and then die off fast. We here for
Exactly.
longevity.
Hmm.
So it might take another 5, 6 years until you get to that place, but the whole 5, 6 years you build it. So
Hmm.
focus on that. Focus on your crowd. That's one thing I like to say a lot is, and it's not just business, it's in life, but business too. Focus on the love. Don't focus too much on the hate.
Hmm.
You know, because you focus on the love, it's gonna grow. Whatever you put your attention to, it's gonna grow. So just yeah, focus on the people that's buying. If it's one person that's buying your stuff, focus on him, you know,
Hmm.
and treat him like he the golden person. Always be appreciative of all little stuff. Just make sure you say thank you. Just little stuff like that. Don't just treat somebody like, because I feel like for me, I know if I was supporting a small time clothing brand owner, and I buy for them 3, 4 times, then I see on social media oh y'all ain't fucking with my brand. Don't nobody want to support it. A young
Hmm.
black man doing that. Like I'm like, damn, I support you every time. You know.
Hmm.
So don't put that energy out. Just always stay positive with it. Always stay grateful about it. And it's gonna come back to you.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you shift your focus, like you said, wherever your focus is, it's going to grow. You focus on the person that's supporting you, that's going to keep you pushing. You focus on, people that's not supporting you, that's where you gonna, that's going to be your downfall.
Bro.
And things going to start to go downhill from there. Now, before we wrap up, I want you to leave the leaders with something to get them through those moments where they feel like they want to give up. Maybe things aren't going their way. Maybe not. They feel like they're not getting the support that they want, or they deserve. Talk to those individuals and give them something to keep them pushing.
Right. I would say, look, if you doing good, if you being a good person, don't worry about getting it back from that person or this person. You gonna get it all back
Mhm.
from the men above. I'm telling you, it's all gonna come back from the men above, and I truly believe that. So it don't matter if somebody snake me, somebody do something wrong to me, and I know I was good in that situation and this and that, and you decide to do something wrong with it, I'm gonna get it back from the men above. Like
Mhm.
for example, it just good shit. Like if I give money to somebody standing out on the street,
Mhm.
you drive past, you see people standing on the street. Like one time, somebody was like, why you giving them money? They probably gonna buy it though. Look, it ain't what they do with the money. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm
Mhm.
blessing them out the kindness of my heart. Whatever you choose to do it, that's on you. You might
Mhm.
really need it, or you might be trying to get over. Not saying I'm finna just keep handing out hundred or give them up $100 or nothing, but
Mhm.
whenever it's in my heart to do it, I'm gonna do it. So do do what's in your heart, and then don't worry about it coming back. Just know that it is gonna come back, and the man above gonna bless you. You know.
Exactly. That I feel like everybody should live by. Don't look, it's gonna come back, but maybe not from who you think it's gonna come back from.
Yeah.
What you believe in, that's who's gonna give it back to you, your creator. And even if it's not now, it may be in another lifetime. For all individuals that's interested in, checking out the wholesale company, the brand, let them know where to find you.
Yeah, y'all can find me on Instagram at O3 underscore big boy. I think it's like 3 Y's on it. I
Listen,
don't
we're
know if
gonna
it's
put
like,
everything in the
yeah, I don't know
description.
if it's 3 or 4. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, O3 underscore big boy. You can find me on
Mhm.
there. Uh Check out my reels. Follow the
Definitely
Coda
make sure y'all
brand.
check them Johns
Yeah,
out.
most definitely. On Facebook is Big Boy Hoskins.
Mm,
Clothing brand is dreamb.i.g on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, definitely check me out. Check out my partners, Jalen Howe. One, I believe that's his stuff.
mm,
My boy Donovan, I don't know if he really got Instagram. He don't too much be on social media, but yeah,
mm.
just tune in with not just me, but the
The whole
brand.
team.
Yeah, the team. Tune in with the city, man. You know, from Danville, and this a new market. I know y'all
Yeah, shout
never
out.
heard
I'm
of.
about to say shout out to
Yeah, ain't nobody
y'all,
never heard of the Danville, man.
man.
So tune
Shout
in to
out to
us, man.
y'all.
So yeah,
Definitely.
definitely tune in, man.
We
Dream
gonna make
big.
sure I'm gonna make sure everything get put in the description so they can find your page. You gotta send me your partner's page so I can put that in
Yeah.
there as well. The
And we got
brand, the
we
properties,
got a
all
lot of
that.
other clothing brand owners and stuff in the
Mhm.
town too. So
Listen,
yeah, man. You know,
I told you we gonna put something together. I'm going we gonna put something together. We gonna link Philly. We gonna link everything together.
Philly with
We
the
gonna,
V.
but I'm saying we gonna bring everything.
All right, let's do it.
We gonna bring everything together, man.
Let's do it.
Um, yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for we went through this again, but I appreciate you for coming onto the platform, being
Definitely.
willing to give some game to the community of
Yeah.
leaders.
I appreciate y'all for
Um,
having me.
Listen, it's a pleasure, man. Especially like something like this to be able to connect with, somebody that's from a different background. We may not come from the same place, but we could probably relate on a lot of probably the same things. And to be able to, connect with you, especially you not being from Philly, is an amazing
Yeah.
thing. That's a blessing to
So,
me. To just see like the platform is reaching, a whole different market. So yeah, man, I appreciate you. I'm excited for this to release. I'm excited for this to
yeah, me
get to the
too, man.
community. And
Most
yeah,
definitely.
man, that's it for today's episode. And like always, y'all know the motto, man. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Yes, sir.